Biko, for many Nigerians trying to understand this case, what exactly does asset forfeiture mean under the Nigerian law in this case? Does forfeiture automatically establish criminal guilt, or are there important legal distinctions between recovering assets and securing a criminal convictions?
No, the case will go on, but even before the case goes far, it is the EFCC's tradition these days to first go before the court, present some assets that they believed were acquired with proceeds of crime. They will first seek the court's mandate to take control of those assets and then go ahead to have those assets permanently forfeited. So while the case, at the beginning of the case, it will be temporarily forfeited, it will be communicated to them that, look, this property in question is being investigated. Therefore, you have to leave, you have to give way so that you do not interfere with the investigations. Now, their thinking is that with proceeds of crime, the accused person can continue to circumvent the will of justice, can use the resources at his disposal to tackle the EFCC, which is the main prosecutor in the matter. So they always like to read them, relieve them of those properties so that they don't even use monies that they make from there to try to slow down the will of justice or ensure that justice is not served. So this is basically the idea. And Malami is actually the author of this particular law. He did his best to get the former president to sign that bill into law. But today, that law has caught up with the man who gave it life. So this is what some other people will call karma at work. You came up with a law, got the president to give his assent, but you are now a victim of that law. And that's the way it should be. No Nigerian should be encouraged to steal so much from the rest of us. And if anyone goes that and does what I call in your face stealing, then they should be ready to bear the consequences. We are talking about 57 properties initially, but the judgment actually affected 48 properties, including hotels in Kebbi, Kano, Kaduna, commercial plazas, residential buildings, schools, factories, a university, a filling station, warehouses, and large parcels of land, and even a mosque. I saw a mosque among the list of those items that were seized. There are a few of them that I'm going to talk about. A luxury duplex at Amazon Street, Cadastral Zone, Maitama, Abuja, purchased in December 2022 for 500 million naira, with an enhanced value of 5.95 billion at this time. Two-winged story building at number 3 Onisha Crescent, Area 11, Garki, Abuja, formerly Harmonia Hotels Limited, purchased in December 2018 for 7 billion. Plot 683, Jabi District, Cadastral Zone, Abuja, comprising a 5-story building now operating as Methag Hotels Limited, with 53 rooms and suites, purchased in September 2020 at Kakas level for 850 million, with an additional 300 million paid to take possession. The current value of that particular property is 8.4 billion naira. Property number 3130 in cadastral zone, Asokoro, Abuja, comprising terraces, purchased in January 2021 for 360 million. Method Hotels Limited, number 3, Rhine Street, Maitama, Abuja, with 15 rooms, purchased in February 2018 for 430 million. Current value after rehabilitation, 12.95 billion. Plot number 1241B, Asokoro District, Yahoo Gawan Crescent, Abuja, purchased in July 2021 for 325 million. And then in Kano, plot 157, Lamido Crescent, Natural GRA, Kano, purchased in July 2018, 2019. Plaza, commercial hotels, laundry warehouses, and tanks adjacent to Brini Kwebi Market, valued at 100 million. 100 hectares of land along Brini Kwebi Jega Road, purchased in 2020 for 100 million. 4-bedroom bungalow at Jesse Fates Base, Brini Kwebi, purchased in 2023 for 101 million. Shops 836 and B3, Vegas Mall, Wuse 2, Abuja, purchased in July 2023. That means up till just even after Buhari left power, he was still buying properties. Purchased in July 2023 for 158 million. Number 26, Babi Drive, Bua Estate, Abuja, purchased in 2022 for 136 million. Number 27, Efab Estate Avenue, 5th Avenue, Warimpa, purchased in January 2016 for 120 million. You know, so it goes on and on like that, some for 250 million. And you ask yourself, how did an individual have all of this money to be buying stuff here and there? Yeah? Rahan University, Kebbi State, permanent site, 56 billion. Temporary site, 37.8 billion. Third site, 2.45 billion. Vice Chancellor's residence, 490 million. Ryan Agro-Allied factory buildings, 4.2 billion. Factory machines and plants, 10.5 billion. So I'm trying to find even the mosque, but there's also a mosque that was attached, but maybe we should just leave that one for now. What I've observed is that Nigerian rich men, when they are stolen from you and I, they will go and build a mosque as part of their loot because they think that God can be fooled. Allah cannot be fooled. You look at people's face, but Allah looks at the mind. God is God, and by nature, God cannot be fooled. So building mosque after stealing from the Nigerian people is not an atonement for the sin that you have committed. I think this point needs to be made because some of these people think that just as they fool us, they can fool God. What I've seen today clearly shows that the mindless looting of our country, if it is not addressed, will put all of us in trouble. Look at Emefiele, who forfeited 753 housing units to federal government. He's being charged with diversion of 154.39 billion naira. Former Accountant General of the Federation, the Zaria man, is charged with diverting 109 billion naira. We have Saleh Maman, former power minister, accused of criminal diversion of 33.8 billion. We need to do something about our criminal justice system. It has to be overhauled so that punishment for barefaced looting can be more stringent so that people will now know that it does not pay to steal from the rest of us. Public officers already see public office as a gateway to riches at the expense of every one of us. This has to change. There has to be serious punishment for stealing from the rest of us. Our laws have to be amended. Unfortunately, those who should amend the law, they are also guilty. A lot of them are guilty of what we are talking about. A lot of them have riches that they cannot defend. Properties acquired here and there that they cannot defend. So right. Are they going to amend the law to make this kind of in-your-face looting much more punitive, to make the law much more punitive? Are they going to do that when they are also guilty? But we all must be worried, because if this trend continues, we will have no country left. If everyone is stealing from Nigeria with the intensity that we are seeing, we will be in trouble. We'll be in trouble.
Absolutely. Well, Adiri Henry says, okay, let me take it from here. Is saying, Adiri Henry says, what about the count charge of arms and ammunition found in one of his apartments? So many questions without answer. Okay, this is another one. Taiwo Odunlade says, God bless you, BQ and Ibrahim. I'm seriously enjoying these forfeiture exercise going on. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And then Taiwo Odunlade says, it was God that saved Nigeria from the claws of Emefiele and his gangs. That man nearly collapsed Nigeria's economy. Nanle Danjuma says, you really analyze issue very well with proper knowledge and not ESC. God bless you. Akimbola Onile says, it's very unfortunate so much stolen money and properties forfeited by courts from Malami. Government should investigate other aides of Buhari administration and bring them to justice. Rafiu Jimo says, opposition like ADC, NDC, Atiku, etc. that shout aloud on Gbaja's matter will not find you on this. And even God said, I didn't get that. And Nelson Adifes says, I really appreciate the EFCC and the judgment, especially this forfeiture of proceeds of crime. Obikio, help tell President this forfeiture translates to easing economy and not to be squandered by some people. Tawad Mladi says Emefiele and Malami are worse than hush puppy. And then
they have the same stock.
Emmanuel Udo says 212 billion naira is an unbelievable figure. If these assets were illegally acquired, recovering them is in the public interest. Hawa Ibrahim says asset forfeiture is one thing, but people should remember that due process still matters. Okay, because of our time, let's move on to the very last conversation.